before God brought us into this world, he has already made provision for what we're going to need. So he's not making a mistake by making us. A blessing won't do you good if you are not prepared. So even as God is blessing us, we need to prepare to accommodate this blessing. I'm reminded of what Pastor just talked about this morning about the you win stuff. And I know of someone that also won 10 million. And I'm trying to emphasize in why we need to grow. And even in growing, we need to start small. You know, this person got the grant, and she got land and stocked it with 5,000 birds. After like 3 months, I got her and I'm like, how? He said, the money is all gone. How? Because she never took care of 10 birds, talk less of 50, and she stocked 5,000. If she had started off before she got the grant by doing what she needs to do, she will have known what to do when the opportunity came in. So we need to start more. A lot of us are in a hurry. We just want to, and you know, when you ask more people, they tell you, I'm not in business because I don't have capital. It's a lie. Most time we think we're waiting on God, but God is actually waiting for us. He wants us to grow, and the growing must be real. The foundation must be strong, so that when we build on it, we build on it something that will stand. You might be chasing after something that you cannot run. It is not just getting there. It's about sustainability. You are still under your parents' tutelage. You are supposed to be in school, but you just want to do something. Everybody wants to do something now. People come to me and they want to train and they tell me, can I use 2 months? And I wonder, what do you want? And they are so in a hurry. And even when they are with you before they spend a month, you see them on Instagram, they've given their fashion house a name. I'm like, what's wrong? There's a time, even when you start, you have to maintain it. You have to maintain it. And I tell you, it's more difficult to maintain than to start. So never be in a hurry to start anything. Under wisdom, we still have knowledge. Knowledge tells us about facts, information, skills to be acquired. And most skills are acquired by experience or education. A lot of things, we have Google now, and it has a lot of stuff. And people these days, they just want to start one thing or the other, and they go and read. But that's not all. There is that part of experience that you cannot get online. Your hand needs to be on deck. When people come most times and you're teaching them stuff, all they want to learn is see how you cut and see how you sew. And I tell you, when we rate it, that's just like 5% of the fashion business. When you talk to customers, they are not interested. When you are choosing styles, they are not interested. When you're making negotiations, they are not interested. All they want to do is, and you will see it on their face, like, hurry up and come and teach us. And I wonder, what about this that I'm doing? So experience is very, very important. It gives you muscle, and it gives you sustainability. How do you acquire knowledge? Education, we all know that. But I want to ask a question. Are we really educated? Are we seriously educated, or we are just certified? Because in Nigeria, most people go to school just to get the certificate. Nothing is in their system. When I went to Yaba Tech, I have the option then. I actually went to the school to see what is going on before I applied. And, you know, they have a place where they display their works. When I saw some works, I was not really interested. I felt Yaba Tech should be more than this. And I asked, who are the ones? They said the HND students. I said, really? Then there's another room. There is a display. And the quality of the works there were top-notch. And I asked, they said these are the day release students. And I'm like, day release student did this. And the ones that spent 4 years. You know, I went and changed my application. And when they saw my result, I was told that you're very good in fine art. The reason why people are doing day release is because they are not good in fine art. Why they are not doing the HND is because they are not good in fine art. You are good. And I'm like, no, I want this day release. And the woman said, no, you can't. Your result is, I said, no. I was told to go and call my father. And they explained that they can't understand. A lot of people want to do this, they don't have the opportunity. Your daughter has what it takes, and she's saying no. And my father said, that's what she wants. Because in my head, I'm like, by the time I want to stand on my own, when my customers come, would they ask for my certificates? Or they want to see what I can do? People are crazy about certificates. I'm here to see somebody now that asks me that, sorry, I want you to sew for me. Can I see your certificate? All they see is she doing a good job? So are we satisfied, or do we have what it takes? So all this idea about running after certificate doesn't really make sense. What makes sense is, what do you have? What is inside your brain? What can you exchange? We need to really begin to change our orientation. There was an interview on radio last week, and they asked the man, and the man said, I'm not educated. You know, my parents couldn't afford to. Said, lots of school. I said, no, I finished secondary school. You know, to him, education is going to university. I'm like, what's this problem? And in the work that he's doing, he's well trained. So a lot of us just go about and we're looking for certificates of, no, let's be productive. The reason why we are missing China now is because they are productive. We have so many people and there's nothing. We are just walking all over. We keep crying that there are no employment. But the people available, they are not employable. When you employ them, you end up doing everything yourself. And it's getting frustrating. So we need knowledge. When we have knowledge, we can exchange it. Because that's actually what people pay for. They don't pay for your nice outfit, for your office. They pay for what they can get in exchange. So let's invest our time in quality education rather than just certification. Have an experience a while ago, so long, like about 18 years now. You know, I normally pay my salaries, fixed salary, my staff fixed salary. And you know, at times I go to the market, I come back 2 hours, 4 hours, and a guy that has been making skirts this morning is still on the skirt. And the next person has finished 4, 5 outfits. And they earn the same thing because staffs now. You know, I sat down and I felt this is not fair. So I decided to come up with a formula. I started paying them per piece. And at the end of the month, those that are hardworking was obvious. And the lazy ones too was obvious. And you know, because the guy has been lazy for so long, it was difficult for him to pick up. So December came and I had so much work. In fact, when you see work and you begin to get scared, you know what it means. It was so much, and I'm like, well, we have to really set up to. And we normally have meetings at the end of the month. And you know, I think this guy went and begged the other side and said, please, this money I'm collecting is not making sense. Please, let's tell Madam that she should be giving us fixed salary. Please, at least. I know when we're in the meeting, one person just said, excuse me, ma, we don't want to be collecting portion again. We want salary. I'm like, how will anybody think of that? It pays you to collect this because you earn more. They said, no, that's what they want. He said, that's what he wants. Then I said, I'm sorry. The last time we were doing this, we changed it, and I'm so cool with it. You know why I'm cool with this? Because when I'm paying them now, I'm happy. Because if I give you anything, it's because you made it. So it's not annoying, it's not frustrating. So I told them it's not going to happen. And the guy said, if you're not going to pay salary, then I'm leaving. I said, the door is open. Then the second person said, auntie, me too. I said, the door is open. The third person, the door is open. The fourth person, the door is open. The fifth person, the door is open. The sixth person, the seventh, the eighth person said the door is open. And you know, they knew we had so much work. They can't imagine I would say the door is open. And 8 of them out of 10 said they are going. I said the door is open. And they left. You know, they went downstairs. They were waiting for me to call them back because there's no way in their head that I could pull through. I just put up my thinking cap. You know, as a child growing up, I was, at times when our parents are doing some stuff, or when things happen to us in life, they are not just coincidence. I'm so used to doing so many things at the same time. If anybody can multitask, that should be my middle name. Oh, I can multitask. And when it got to a state that, because I'm the firstborn, you take care of the kid, you wake up in the morning, you clean, I wash the car, I climb the car and come down on the other side, I dress them, I iron, I cook. When I fetch water, we don't have water in our area with jerry can, that's 25 liter. I have to carry the 2 to balance, and I do that every day. So I'm used to pressure. So when they said they were going, I'm like, just put on your thinking cap. Just went home. I have like 4 students. I arranged the machines, put thread, black, white, sorted out the outfits, sorted out. I sat on the machine. I cut everything at the same time. I would just sit, give this one iron. Most of them didn't even know what they're doing until I'm through. And they're like, whoo, whoo. And guess what? I solely finished. I did not disappoint a single customer. And the only 2 that stayed, one just joined us, and the other one is a cleaner. In fact, that cleaner turned to a tailor instantly. And when she goes to the man, they'll tell you, they'll ask her, how far? Auntie Otik, or Auntie Oyemio. Woman, she said, they waited, and up till now, they're still waiting. And that year, I made so much. I'm like, and in fact, I felt like reducing how much I paid them after the experience. I'm like, but you know, when I was being trained to multitask and do stuff, to me, a day I thought in my heart, I'm like, are my parents actually my parents? Because the way they give me work to do, I'm like, maybe one day me or somebody gave me to them. I questioned them because of the training I got. But it played up later on, paid off. So when we're going through stuff, it's building us. Let us not resist it. And it's because I knew my onions. If not, that would have been the end of my business. 8 tailors going at once. When customers come and that's the end. And as the time I kept, and now when a new tailor comes, I give you the time and condition. If you want to stay, you stay. If you are not interested, you go. So anything we want to do, we need to be educated. Don't just do things out of the blue. Get knowledge. Get educated. It talks about good judgment. What's good judgment? It means taking the right decision. You need to know what to do per time, and it has to be right. Stopping all these football matches now because of Corona is a good judgment because they are doing something that needs to be done. This brings me to parenting. A lot of us these days, the way we train up our children I'm like, the reason why they call us parents is because the children don't know what to do and they are looking up to us. So we need to do the needful. I remember when my children were growing up and, we were small. And I have to wake up in the middle of the night, like twice, 3 times to take them to pee. And even if they don't pee, just go and you do. And, when I was doing that thing, it wasn't convenient because you can't afford to sleep too well because you don't want them to do certain things. But it's part of training. And I never bought one funny nylon to put on my children's bed. And up to none of them peed on their mattress. Why? Because I took time to do some things that are really painful. And it paid off. There are some things that as parents we need to do, but for our own peace. When you train your child, it's for your own peace. It's for you to live a better life. It's for them to be better in life. It is for our own good. So when a child comes to you and is like, Mommy, I want sweet. Mommy, I want sweet, you give. Mommy, I want ice cream. Mommy, I want, you give. You want your children to love you in quotes, and you are destroying their lives. They may not understand what you're doing now. Just like I never understood what my parents were doing until I had to look back. So we need to help our children to grow up right. We need to be able to say no at times. Some parents can't say no. A child in my friend's school comes to class and sleeps all through the class. I know they reported to the mom and she said, man, wo film ni o. I said, wo film. Can't you say, teba sa come wo ma sunkún. As if crying has become, what's that? Say, don't worry, ma sọ fún bàbá. See, your child is the one that will tell you when he wants to go and sleep. Who does that? So as parents, we really need to take cognizance of those things. We need to be able to create expectation. Expectation helps us to avoid disappointment. A good example is the 5 virgins, the 10 virgins, the five of them. When they came to them and they were like, please give us oil. They were straightforward. And they gave them a good reason so that it would be enough for me and you. Can you please say no at times? Our definition of love is just questionable. You think to say I love you is to be dindering or to just allow things that is not to pass. Our definition of love, it should be real. Jesus loves God so much. He's God. He went into the temple and drove out people with whip. He whipped them out. And the one I like so much is the one in the Old Testament. I like it in Yoruba. Tó pa gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Íjíbítì. Torí tí àánú rẹ̀ dúró láéláé. For a love there's so much. And you see the lines, the way he was putting things in place. Love necessarily doesn't mean not all this movie we watch. Praise the Lord. When we grow in God's way, spirit, soul, body, we come out unique in life. We stand out. The only competition we have is ourselves. Getting better and better as the day go by. I say to you, run your race. Stay in your line. Stay in your line. Run your race and wish others well. God bless you.
Are you blessed or not? If I was going to change her topic, I would say, if I can't compete, what next? That's exactly what I'll call it. Because just because we say don't compete doesn't mean there is no part for you to do. Before I touch some of the highlights of what she said, Pastor Oluniyi was sharing something with me yesterday, I think it was. They did a training in his office, and he decided to take everybody in the office through some videos of some well-known people who had done something in fashion. The lady in Ethiopia, I think when you see the story of, sorry? Yeah, people stories about. And he said, he now asked each one of them, what's your story for the business you're in? Have you noticed that most of us don't have a story for our business? You don't know why you started. You don't know why you're doing it. You don't have any reason for doing it. You just want to make, money. And that's something she highlighted this morning, that most of us don't have a story. We don't even have a lane that we're running on. Because everything is about money. And money is supposed to be a side benefit. Once it becomes our target, it becomes a moving target. You will compromise, you will cut corners, you would lie, you would steal. You know, I sent a plumber to town to go and buy me hand dryers. Now, there are many fake hand dryers in the market. I thought the plumber would know a genuine one. He went to Iwo Road and wrote me back and said, each hand dryer is 14,500 naira. Okay. Then he gave me some other quotations that the cost of putting the sink was more expensive than the sink itself. I knew something was wrong. So yesterday before the leaders' meeting, I rushed to Iwo Road at about 7 a.m. in the morning and got to Uchekinze at about 7:15 because I wanted to make the meeting here before 8. And I got there, can I have your most genuine hand dryer? You know how much it is? 10,000 naira. And I was going to buy 4. This guy was going to put 18,000 naira in his pocket as profit from buying me, and he was going to buy me fake ones. Now, the point I'm trying to make is that he didn't make the 18,000. Sure, you know me, if I was Yoruba, I would be Jebu. Okay? He didn't make 18,000 naira, but you know what has happened to him now? Who knows? He can never work for me again. Somebody else took his job yesterday. That's what happens to you when you are looking for money, not satisfying your customer. You know, stay in your lane. You know, we've got even churches, even individuals, everybody's copying. And she said that's the reason why there's so much competition. But there was one statement she made that I felt really blew me out of the whatever. She says, the reason why most of us are in the rat race is because we're not growing. We're not growing. No growth. Dr. Degbola said the church is the only place in Nigeria right now, not the mosque, not the mosque, not cherubim and seraphim, not anywhere else. The church is the only place in Nigeria where any form of regular education is taking place. Everywhere else, most people graduate and that's the last time they saw their book. How many of you have read your book since you left university? Anybody? Anybody here? Mrs. Smith, what about you? I can't even imagine what Mrs. Smith read. I can't imagine. Look, I mean, she did art. And I like what she said. You want to Google all your solutions? Huh? You don't want to walk? You want to do anything with your hand? How many of you have tried to cut wood before? Ordinary wood. I have a carpenter. He's been with me for 25 to 30 years. Old man, Baba. Baba, one day, I told him to cut a piece of wood to fit into a particular place. He said, Pastor, that's not how they cut wood. You have to cut wood in a particular direction. You know, I mean, because he was trained by Kappa and Dalberto. Those are people who are trained by Kappa. And he says, no, you can't cut that wood. He says you have to cut wood in a certain direction. And have you ever tried to cut wood? You try it. You think you can cut a straight line. You try it. Because there's nothing more than you actually practicing and doing it. Practicing and doing it. Practicing and doing it. And guess what? Even if your boss forces you to learn that skill, when you are leaving, you carry the skill with you when you're gone. We've been asked some very hard things this morning. I didn't expect Mrs. Oluniyi to be this tough on us this morning. But she's true. She's very right. Some of us are protecting our children from failure. We think we are. The late Clay Christensen in his book, How Do You Measure Your Life, said the book came out of a simple thing. He said, when you see your children every day, you can't call them good children. He says, when you walk with your children and you see their report every day, you can't call them good. As a matter of fact, your children probably annoy you every day. He says, it's when you've gone 20 years down the road and you now look back, you now say, oh, my children. But while they are growing and developing, you don't see it. And most of us don't want to make the sacrifice necessary. Do you know what it is to give up your entire salary, your entire benefits, your ability to buy a car, your ability to enjoy yourself, to pay your children's school fees? Knowing that you are sowing a seed for where? For tomorrow. I know people who spend more on their 40th or 50th birthday than they spend on their family for maybe 3 years to celebrate. Let's just bow our heads. Let's bow our heads. There's no sweet song to sing this morning. It's just decision time. Stay on your lane. A blessing won't do you any good if you are not prepared. Two men were made king. One succeeded, the other failed. God is waiting for us to grow and be prepared. Don't be in a hurry. Skills are acquired by experience and education. When somebody comes to your office to look for you, to do business with you, they are not asking for your certificate. Some of us, that's what we have framed. You know the one I find very interesting? This picture with Obama that you put at the back of your wall. Okay, with Buhari. Doesn't change anything. It says we are missing China now because one of the most productive nations in the world. When we started fixing the garden hall, we were buying the plywood for 6,500. By the time we went to the market, it had gone to 9,500 naira. What they asked the guy, is that because the Chinese are not sending anything in? 9,500. And we couldn't stop because we were already halfway through. When you stop going to York with your boss, know that you didn't come. Some of you don't come to church. The reason why we don't ask about you is because you don't make any difference. Good judgment is taking good decisions. And like the 5 virgins, learn to say what? Say what? Can you come for my wedding in Kano and buy Ashwabi? No. What? There's a gentleman, if I tell you his name, you will know him. Very popular musician in this country. It's my friend. Called me one day and said, Pastor, I'm getting married in Lagos. So and so, my wife and I want you to come and your wife. And I said, okay, let me tell you the truth. I don't go for weddings outside Ibadan because I have nothing to do. Says number 2, the cost of my coming to Lagos. Those days I'll hire a vehicle, take me to Lagos, stay with me throughout, then bring me back. I said, this is how much it's going to cost for me to come to Lagos. I can give you the money for your wedding and not come. Or I come and I don't give you anything. You know what he said? Come care. In Nigeria, he said, give me the money. You think that's you they want at the wedding? They don't need you. Okay, how many of you have got to a wedding? They will say, because Pastor Smith is not around, we're not marrying this person. Have you ever seen that happen before? Pastor Smith is not around. Well, your friend hasn't arrived. We'll wait. No, it's once the bride and the groom is there, wedding take, even if the minister is not there, so they'll find another person to substitute. Am I right? So who's waiting for you? No, they want you to give them something. So give them. Give them. Just give them. And say, go and enjoy yourself. Send me photograph. If they want you in the photograph, haven't you heard of Photoshop? You cut yourself out and you stick yourself in the photograph. Abi? And everybody's happy after that. Or they do it on green screen. And then they will now tell you they went to Paris for their reception of it. That's about it. I know I'm joking, but it's a serious matter. Let's make up our mind. That's tough this morning. If you can't compete, then what? Separate yourself from the pack. Separate yourself from the pack. There are some animals that don't compete. They just put the lions are one of them. They're in a different category. Everybody else is running. They're strategic. Eagles don't flap their wings. They mount up with wings. They mount up with wings. Bible says mount up with wings as eagles. Let's ask God this morning, Father, whatever it takes, whatever it takes, whatever it takes, whatever it takes, help me to distinguish myself. You know, I'm surprised nobody in Nigeria is making hand sanitizer. Can you believe it? We had Ebola. We needed hand sanitizer 4 years ago. It was expensive. 4 years later, we have another thing. Nobody has taught hand sanitizer there is business because he knows Nigeria. Once there's no crisis, hand sanitizer won't sell. So they didn't make it. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. But there's something you can do. Father, help us. Give us access to your wisdom, your understanding, your knowledge. That we can separate ourselves from the pack. Help us. That each and every one of us will have a divine story concerning our businesses. Thank you. We give you praise.
Please, let's package our tithes and offering. Like Pastor said, it's really a tough one. Or shall I say challenging message to challenge us and to just look back at some very, very important and essential things that we seem to be missing out on. Let's package our tithes and our offering. You know, there's a Yoruba adage that says, it says that Adani Loro. It says Agbara lo fi n koni. It says someone seems to be wicked to you, but in actual fact, the person is equipping and training you. So even the seemingly wickedness of men is to equip and to train you. Father, we thank you. Thank you for your word this morning. Thank you for speaking to us. Thank you because your word will mix with faith in our hearts. And do help us by your Spirit to apply and to put into practice the truth that you have revealed to us this morning. And Father, we do thank you for the privilege of honoring you with our seed to support the work of this house. And to say thank you for all that you have done for us. Glory be to your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
You're welcome to the Bridge Network. The Bridge Network. Experience the King.